The Queen arrived this morning at Westminster Abbey wearing a dark blue ensemble paired with black gloves, shoes and her signature handbag. She was in the company of her daughter Princess Anne, who opted to don a royal purple coat and matching hat. The pair headed to the splendid Abbey in London to attend a Thanksgiving service marking the centenary of the Royal British Legion, RBL. They were welcomed outside the church by the Dean of Westminster, who led the celebrations. During the service, Princess Anne was among the attendees to head to the pulpit, from which she gave a reading from Matthew chapter 25. Among the other high-profile guests marking the 100th year since the creation of the RBL, there was Lieutenant General James Bashall, national president of the RBL. Both the royal mother and daughter have very close ties with the Legion. Her Majesty has been for decades the patron of the organizations supporting the armed forces community. On the other hand, the Princess Royal is president of the Legion's Women's Section, a branch of the organization created in 1921 to safeguard the interests of widows and families of veterans and ex-servicemen. Today's poignant service marks the Queen's return to Westminster Abbey for the first time in almost a year. Her Majesty is believed to have last been at the Abbey in autumn 2020, to mark the centenary of the burial of the unknown warrior. The last event the Queen attended there took place months prior, in March 2020, and was the Commonwealth Day service. After that service, which also marked the last joint engagement as senior royals of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the Queen spent months self-isolating at Windsor Castle only in the company of her late husband, Prince Philip, and a reduced number of staff. But following the easing of all legal restrictions in place in the UK to curb the number of COVID infections, the monarch has signalled she is ready to return to normality. During the spring and summer, despite losing the Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen took part in an increasing number of face-to-face engagements. Between June and July she carried out her yearly Royal Week in Scotland, during which she visited Stirling, Edinburgh and Glasgow. She also hosted world leaders at her Berkshire residence, including Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and US President Joe Biden. Following her summer break at Balmoral Castle, the first since the death of Prince Philip, the monarch returned with a packed diary. On October 1, she officially launched the Queen's Green Canopy, the first initiative launched to mark her Platinum Jubilee, in the company of her son and heir Prince Charles. On the following day, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall joined the monarch at Holyrood, where the Queen addressed MSPs and First Minister Nicola Sturgeon during the opening ceremony of the Scottish Parliament. Following this eventful weekend, the Queen returned to England, where she spoke to members of the Royal Regiment of the Canadian Artillery, which has taken its post at Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace for the first time ever this year. More to follow.